Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I just did a huge grocery haul for the month of December, and it is time to put everything away where it belongs. One of my favorite things to do when I get back from a grocery trip is to go ahead and slice, dice, and portion out everything before it goes in the fridge and freezer. That makes meal prep and meal planning so much easier when you're pulling a big bag of meat out of the freezer and it's already portioned out for exactly what you need. So the first thing I'm doing is I am dividing all of this chicken that I had gotten on sale for $1.98 a pound into 4-gallon bags. Now, one of them is going to be for fajitas, which is why I did the strips first. Then there will be buttered chicken, sweet and sour chicken, and I haven't decided which recipe I'm going to use yet, but I've been browsing through the Half Baked Harvest website for days now, and there are quite a few really easy skillet and sheet pan chicken recipes. So I'm going to use one of these bags of chicken for one of her recipes. Now, I'm not doing anything else to this meat as I place it in the bag. It's just plain chicken that has been cut up to the size that we want for the different dishes that we're going to be making. But when it comes time to make these things, all I'll have to do is pull these big gallon bags out of the freezer, and I really filled them. This is more than enough for my family, and the intention is to always have leftovers. It makes it much easier for my homeschooled kids when there's leftovers for lunch the next day. I have seen these baggie holders on Amazon and different accounts on Instagram for quite a while now, as well as YouTube. They are super handy when you are doing meal prep or freezer cooking and you're adding lots of food to different Ziploc bags. It holds it upright for you. I haven't had a single one fall out yet, and they're really handy. They're also very inexpensive. They were on sale a while back, and I went ahead and bought I think they come in packs of 4, and I think I bought 3 different packs of them. I only ever use about 4 at a time, so I should probably gift the others to someone else, but I really like them. They're a super handy tool, and they don't take up much space once you have collapsed everything the way that you saw them a few minutes ago. I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested. I've had these carrots for a couple of weeks now. I already used them for why I purchased them, and this is just extra, so I diced them up, and now I have 4 quart bags in the freezer. Watching me slice and dice this celery on a time lapse was so satisfying. This was all extra celery that we had purchased over Thanksgiving break, and of course we did not need it all, so I am dicing it up and putting it in 3 different quart bags, and we'll use it for different things like soups and casseroles. Now I decided to go through my freezer. My freezers are full again. We've got already prepared venison burgers here, some leftover pineapple, green coffee beans that we can roast. I'm going to go ahead and pull out this shredded zucchini. I'm going to make like a triple batch of zucchini muffins with our favorite recipe. I'll do some gluten-free and some regular. We've also got these pecans, some frozen grapes. Some of my kids throw those in there. A chicken carcass to make more broth. This is some ground venison that I had cooked up in a big batch. Another carcass. Some frozen green beans. Oh, I'm afraid how long those have been down there. And there's also some frozen berries down there. This is so helpful to see what all I've got in here because I just forget. Now, if I can only get it to fit so I can close it back in a minute. All right, over here, I've got more frozen zucchini. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 more of these packages out. I'm going to use some of that ground flax meal in the peanut butter oat protein bars that I'm going to make in a little while. I'm so glad that I thought to shred and freeze some of the zucchini that we had from the garden this past year. My neighbor shared some with us as well. In fact, I think this is hers. This is the best thing to do with zucchini that gets way overgrown and you don't necessarily want to eat it fresh. I've got some ground whole wheat flour in here that I will use to feed my sourdough starter. There's some mixed vegetables as well as peas and carrots that I'll use for fried rice. What else is down here? That's a jar of pesto. And here is a smoothie pack that I made. It's like a peaches and cream Trim Healthy Mama smoothie bag. All I need to add is a cup of ice. as well as quite a few 2-pound blocks of sharp cheddar. This is not great when I need sharp cheddar for like a Mexican recipe to top food with, but if the cheese needs to go in the recipe, it's perfect. All right, up here on top, you see the frozen chicken that I just prepped yesterday. That was in the beginning of the video. I also froze some of those croissants in bags of 4. There are the carrots in here, and I also have some shredded hash browns there in the back. Under these croissants, I have 2 sandwich bags with leftover homemade cranberry sauce. That cranberry sauce was delicious. I posted about it on Instagram, and I ended up using it to top our baked brie 2 different times. Back here under the hash browns, we've got some frozen pineapple as well as some riced cauliflower with mixed veggies in there. As I am editing this video, I am making a list of all of these things because it's going to really come in handy when I do my pantry and freezer challenge in January and February. This is our biggest freezer. This is an upright freezer in our laundry room. I've got these tuna steaks that I got on sale at Sam's the other day, tons of venison, tons of frost. We've got some prepared homemade meatballs in here. Again, this is venison. We pretty much don't buy beef because we have venison year round. My men are very successful hunters. We've got some lunch meat, more riced cauliflower. I can hardly even get this one out. Here's some venison that I've already cooked and froze in quart bags. That's handy for things like chili. I also have a whole bunch of quart bags of frozen sliced peaches in there. I am going to pull out this coconut lentil curry that is already made, and we'll defrost that and have it tonight. I'll also make some homemade garlic naan. Down here, I've got a new bag of pecans, and I will be roasting these for my husband. That is a holiday treat that we make once a year. And I've got a variety of store-bought frozen vegetables in here like corn, broccoli, and green beans. This is some of my home roasted coffee. It's delicious and it stores well in the freezer until we're ready to grind it. We've got more lunch meat, butter that I got on sale. Here are some tiny potatoes from the garden from this year, and a bag of frozen pepperoni. Now, this is our small upright freezer. It's starting to get a little frost on top, but the rest of it is still completely defrosted. We've got a bunch of homemade apple pie filling, a few packages of hot dogs, lots of hash browns that I purchased the other day at the store, some frozen bananas, frozen grapes. I did stick some spinach in this gallon bag, and we just break off a big chunk of it every time we make smoothies. There's some chicken. I made an extra hash brown casserole on Thanksgiving Day. That would be delicious served with scrambled eggs for breakfast. More fruit for smoothies and baking like blueberry muffins. A bunch of frozen broccoli. Some egg rolls. Lots of stuff in this freezer. This freezer was empty about 3 weeks ago. So I'm really looking forward to my pantry and freezer challenge after Christmas. It is time to stop purchasing food for the fridge and freezer and use what we've got. I love days like this. Look at the rays of sunshine over to the left of the screen. It was such a beautiful day. There's been quite a breeze. It was chilly, but it's really the perfect day to hang laundry out, as long as I can get my dog to not look at it as a game and pull it off the line. There is nothing that makes me more mad at my dog than when I come out to find my clean laundry strewn all over the backyard. And not only does she pull it down, she lays on it. All right, I'm trying a new recipe for some little snack balls for my younger children, especially, that I can pack in their backpack or their lunch boxes. My daughter pointed out a stain on my shirt. This mixture, I'm going to include the link to the recipe in the description below, but it's basically flax meal, some Rice Krispies, of course mine are generic, oats, peanut butter, coconut oil, honey, and vanilla. Really simple. I already had all of these ingredients on hand. I actually had the Rice Krispies from when I made Rice Krispie treats back in September, and they were still nice and crunchy. They actually really add a lot to these snack balls. The crunch I don't think they would be the same or even quite as enjoyable without the crunch of the Rice Krispies. One thing that I would do differently next time, I don't care for the flavor, like the coconut oil flavor. I think when I make these next time, because I'll definitely make them again, I will just add a little bit of melted butter instead. It only calls for 2 tablespoons, so I will definitely do melted butter instead of coconut oil. As I started forming these into balls, I realized I really needed to refrigerate the mixture for a little bit. So I made just a little bit and then I stuck them in the fridge and finished them later. I decided to make myself some yogurt and granola for brunch. I hadn't eaten anything yet today. I start with plain Greek yogurt, add a little honey and homemade granola. I also broke up some pecans and added some dried craisins. It's been a busy day in the kitchen so far, and there's still lots to do. I hope you'll join me for some breakfast prep in a few days. Thanks for watching.